What is up, my taters, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going over the remainder of the Studio Edit collection. This is going to be the second Studio Edit drop that we are getting from Youngla for her, and these are going to be all new pieces separate from the drop that we got on the 13th. Now, while this drop is all different pieces and new materials, they are in the same colorways as the last drop. So these are going to be perfect pieces for you to style and mix match with the other collection that we just got, which is why these are such staple pieces, so that you can kind of pick and pull whichever pieces you want from each part of each collection. Now, this drop here will be going live on February 24th, so this Tuesday, 12 p.m. PST, 2 p.m. CST, and 3 p.m. EST. As always, have your calendars marked and your alarms set. I know how quickly the last drop sold out, so I do suggest you guys being on the site a little bit early. Maybe be there like 2 minutes early, keep refreshing. Go ahead and have your cart planned out before launch day. Do you have a preview up where you can go ahead and browse all of the pieces? I will link that down below so that you guys can go ahead and plan your purchases. And then my suggestion would be to go in, get your absolute needs, the I will die without, and check out as soon as possible. And then go back for the pieces that you're like kind of on the edge about, you're still kind of deciding. As always, I will be sharing a countdown over on my Instagram stories the day of launch, just in case you guys need a little extra reminder, a little extra alarm to let you know that the drop has gone live. I put a countdown over on my stories. You can turn on the notifications for that, and it will alert you the second that the drop goes live. And as always, before we get all the way into this try on haul, let's go ahead and go over my height, weight, and measurements. I am 5'8", I'm about 130 pounds. My measurements are 34, 26, 40. That is a bust waist hip ratio. Of course, we'll be sharing every single size I choose to get in every single item. All right, and first things first, we have the new Studio Edit fleece hoodies, which is what I have on here. This is in the black colorway. We're gonna get these in 7 different colorways. A lot of the same colors that we got on the last drop, so if you missed out on the zip ups, you can get the hoodie version of all of the colorways. You're gonna get the same very minimal metal logoing on these, so you're just gonna get that one logo there. Same with the matching joggers that we're gonna get in this collection. And then the 2 colorways that I have on hand are, of course, the black and the red. We're also gonna get these in a pink, brown, charcoal, heather gray, and white. And then in both the red and the black hoodie, I did choose to get size medium. So this is how a size medium is fitting on me. Jackets in the last drop were a little bit pre-oversized. These, in my opinion, fit a little bit more so true to size. Not as oversized as the jackets were on the last drop. So if you want these to be a little bit more oversized, go ahead and size up. If you want them to fit you pretty normal, go ahead and stay true to size. These hoodies, we are gonna get a super, super soft fleece material on the inside. I love these. I love that they're not like too thick. They don't feel too heavy on the body. You could literally wear these all day long. They don't feel like they're like weighing you down, but they feel super soft and cozy on the inside. And then with these, we do get pockets on the side. Now, this is not going to be like your typical hoodie pocket that just kind of sits here and adds a little bit of extra fabric. These are going to be stitched into the sides, and they are going to be 2 completely separate pockets here. I love it because it makes the piece look super simple and plain Jane and easy to pair with the joggers. And then we, of course, are going to get our typical hood on this. You are going to get a little stitched in Youngla logo on the hood. And then, as always, I did want to go ahead and throw on the other color that I have so that you guys can see what it looks like on in person. This is the red colorway, and this is in a size medium again, so it fits me exactly the same. It's just in a completely different color. You get the same pockets, the same emblem, the same hood, the same material on the inside. And you do get matching joggers to all of the colorways of the hoodies, so you can make a matching set in all of these. All right, and now moving on to the new Studio Edit cuff joggers, which is what I have on here. Now, these are going to be a true jogger, so they do cuff at the bottom of the ankles on both sides. I do have the black colorway on here, as well as the red and the heather gray on hand. But like the hoodies, we are also going to get these in a brown, pink, charcoal, and white colorway. And then in these joggers, I did choose to get them in a size medium, which is my typical size in sweats. So in the barrel sweats that we got in the last collection, I was a size medium, and those ran a little bit oversized. These are a little bit more so true to size, so go ahead and stay true to size to your typical size in these joggers. Of course, we are going to get the same metal emblem here. We are going to get some drawstrings to tie them up. I personally prefer to roll the waistband on these, so I just have these rolled. However, I'm not doing that for length purposes because these are a cuff jogger. My short girls do not have to worry about these. These are going to fit you no matter what height you are. So if you're on the shorter side and had to skip out on the barrel joggers, go ahead and go for these joggers instead. And then again, the inside material of these is going to be a super soft, kind of lighter weight fleece material. I love how soft and cozy these feel. And I also really love the way that these cuffs fit. Sometimes on cuff joggers, I'm not the world's biggest fan, but I like how these actually cuff at the ankle, but they don't don't just like taper too much at the ankle. They still kind of give an oversized feel in the pant leg. And of course, here is the red colorway to match with the red hoodie that we get. I did get these in a size medium. Again, love the way that they fit. Exact same detailing on these as the black ones that I just had on. And again, here is a size medium. This is the heather gray colorway. I absolutely love the way that these fit. And I did forget to mention on the other two colorways, we do get pockets on all of these. So you get your typical pockets on these joggers as well. All right, and next up we have the new Studio Edit Active Bras. Now these are going to be a real sports bra, where the last ones were kind of more of like a bralette. These are going to have built-in padding in them. They are going to be a nice, stretchy, yet athletic material. These are going to be sweat wicking. They are going to come with adjustable straps in the back, so you can tighten or loosen them as much as you need. And then we are going to get these in relatively the same colorways as the last drop. However, there are just a couple more colorways than we got last time, and these are going to be perfect for layering under any of the camis that you got on the last drop, or we are also going to get some tanks on this drop as well, so you are covered on both ends. I do have this sports bra here in the charcoal colorway, but I do also have the red, white, brown, pink, and black colorway. And then really quickly wanted to show you guys these sports bras off body before we go over them on body. As you guys can see, these are a nice stretchy type of strap. These are going to be just a little bit of a thicker strap than the bralettes that we got in the last drop. As you guys can see, you do get those adjustable bands here, and you can also see the mesh lining on the inside of these sports bras to help with wicking sweat. You are also going to get this little Youngla logo in the back of these. The straps in the back here are completely removable, so you can detach them, you can attach them across. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. As you guys can see here, I did swap where these straps hook on, so it made it like a little crisscross detail, or you can also completely remove the straps on the back, and then you can just tie them around your neck if you would prefer a halter top on these. And then in these sports bras, I did choose to stick to my typical size small, and I would suggest go ahead and staying to your typical size small. Going to be just a little bit more compressive than the camis that we got, as they are going to be an athletic material, and this band down here is going to be a thicker, more compressive band just to kind of hold you in for sports and activities as such. This is how a size small in the charcoal colorway fits on me. And here is the red, again in a size small. However, I did leave these straps crossed, so this is how crossing these straps will look on these. And then here is the brown colorway, again in a size small. But on this one, I chose to go ahead and undo the straps and make it into a halter top. And then here is the cream colorway in a size small. Now we are gonna get two kind of lighter looking colorways. You are either going to get the cream or the white. The white is going to come off more of like a bright white, and the cream is going to come off a little bit more like a beige-ish kind of yellowed down neutrally white. So this one is the cream. I think earlier I mispronounced and I said that it was white. This is the cream colorway, and this is again in a size small. And here is the pink sports bra in a size small. And then really quickly, I did want to show you guys that the pink from the last drop and this drop are literally the exact same pink, so you should not have any problems with layering any of the pieces from last drop with this drop. And then same thing here with the reds. This is the hoodie that we're getting in this drop, and then this is the zip up that we got in the last drop. As you guys can see, they are the exact same red. And then lastly, here is the black, again in a size small in the sports bras. All right, and next up we have the new Studio Edit Active Shorts, which is what I have on here. Now this is the normal length that the shorts are going to fit on you guys. As you guys can see, they are just a little bit longer than our typical short. However, I do personally like to hike mine up, so I do put that little band on the bottom here, right underneath where like your cheeks sit. In my opinion, this does kind of help with the plumpness look of the glutes, so this is just personally how I prefer to wear them. So that all the shorts, when trying them on, they do fit at that lower length there. I just wanted to go ahead and tell you guys and warn you guys, I choose to wear them just a little bit shorter than how they naturally sit on the body. And then quickly going over these shorts off body before we go over them on body. As you guys can see, the waistband does taper in a little bit more than the hips, which we love. But this has a nice snug fit on the waist. This is going to be a double lined waistband, and it is going to be seamless besides on the edges. You are going to get two seams on the sides here that do run along the sides of the shorts as well. And then on the front, we are going to get this little Youngla rubberized logo. And then on the back of these shorts, as you guys can see, we do get that nice little V stitch in these, so it does add some curvature to the glutes. We do get a seam going down the middle, nothing that is a butt scrunch, but it does help add separation to the cheeks. And we are also going to get this little rubberized Youngla logo on the band of these shorts as well. And then these shorts are going to be a nice, super stretchy, athletic material. Same material across the board with these sports bra, leggings, and tanks that we're going to be getting in this collection. These again are a completely different material from the shorts and bras that we got in the last drop. In my opinion, these are a bit more of like a buttery, soft, yet compressive athletic material. And then with these, I do have the charcoal colorway on here. I did just show you guys the red colorway, but I do also have the cream colorway, brown colorway, and the pink colorway. And don't you worry, we are going to be going over the cellulite coverage and squat test on all of the colorways, especially that cream colorway and that pink colorway, because they are going to be the lightest colorways that we get in this collection. Now, before we get into the squat test and everything like that, I do want to go ahead and pre-warn you guys that I do have nude underwear on underneath all of these pieces. As always, I do suggest wearing nude underwear, or of course you can always go commando if that is your thing. And going over cellulite coverage on these, I do typically get some cellulite here on my glutes. I'm not seeing it show through, but as you guys can see, I do get some right here on my like under thigh. However, if I go ahead and pull these shorts down, these shorts do cover that cellulite on my thigh here, so I would say that these are going to provide a good amount of cellulite coverage, as they are a nice thick and compressive material. Then going in for a squat test on the charcoal colorway, I'm not seeing anything show through, so I would say that these do pass the squat test. All right, and here is the red colorway on. Again, I did choose to go ahead and scrunch these to my preferred length. And then going over cellulite coverage on these, I'm not seeing the cellulite on my glutes. I am seeing it just a little bit here on my thigh, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these down. And as you guys can see, it is covering it on my thigh here, so these are going to provide a good amount of cellulite coverage. And then going in for a squat test on these, I'm not seeing anything show through, so I would say that these do pass the squat test. All right, and here is the brown colorway. Again, I went ahead and scrunched it to my preferred length. And then going over cellulite coverage, I'm not seeing anything show through on my glute here, and I went ahead and pulled these down, and they're not showing any on my thigh, so these are gonna provide a good amount of cellulite coverage. And then going in for a squat test on the brown, again, I'm not seeing anything show through, so these are going to pass the squat test. And then moving on to the lighter colors, here is the pink. And going over cellulite coverage, I'm not seeing any show through on my glute here, which is actually pretty surprising for a lighter colorway. And then again, I'm not seeing any show through on my thigh here, so I would say that due to the thick material of all of these, they are going to provide a good amount of cellulite coverage. And then going in for a squat test on the pink, I'm not seeing anything show through, so even though these are a light colorway, I think due to the thick material, these are going to pass the squat test. All right, and the last colorway that I have in the shorts is the cream colorway. And then again, going over cellulite coverage, I'm not seeing any rippling on my glutes like I typically would, and I'm not seeing any rippling show through on my thigh here, so surprisingly again, but I do have to give it to the thick material, these are going to provide a pretty good amount of cellulite coverage. And going in for a squat test on the cream colorway, I am not seeing anything show through, so even the cream is going to be squat proof. Now in all of these shorts, I did choose to stick to my typical size small. I would suggest go ahead and staying true to size unless you're in between sizes. Go ahead and size down in these. I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but there was a little bit of extra fabric kind of on like my hip section. If I had sized down to an extra small, I think that would have taken away, but I also do like to scrunch mine up. And I like to do a little trick where you take the fabric and you kind of shove it in between the cheeks just to make your glutes look a little bit more, you know, voluptuous. So I like having that little bit of extra fabric. So for me, staying true to size to my typical size small works great. But if you do find that sometimes you're in between sizes, go ahead and go with the smaller size on these. All right, and next up we have the new Studio Edit Active leggings. I do have two of the colorways on hand. I did choose to get the black and the red colorway in these, but we are also gonna get these in a pink, brown, and charcoal colorway. And I did wanna go ahead and show you guys these off body because I did choose to get these in two different sizes. So with the red colorway, I did choose to go ahead and size down to an extra small. The sizing is going to be the same across the leggings as the shorts. So with that, I wanted to show you guys what an extra small is going to look like. And then I also got a size small in the black colorway so that we could kind of compare and contrast the two different sizes. All right, and here is the red colorway in the leggings. Now in this one, I did choose to get a size extra small. So this is how a size extra small in the leggings are fitting on me. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a thicker, kind of like athletic, buttery, soft material. These are going to have a double lined waistband just like the shorts. Literally every single detail that you got on the shorts is going to be on the leggings. And then really quickly wanted to show you guys the length on these just because I am 5'8". They are hitting at like my crew sock that I have on, which is typical for all Youngla for her leggings. So these, as far as length goes, they are going to fit just like your typical length in leggings. And then I did want to mention, as far as like material makeup goes, fit most similar to the Iron Legacy collection that we got for the Gold's Gym collab on the For Her side. So I would go ahead and say, like, as far as material goes, you can kind of expect expect a little bit of a thicker material than those, but kind of same feeling to them. And then as you guys can see, again, we do get that V stitching here. You do get a single seam that goes in between the glutes. However, this is not going to be a butt scrunch, and you are going to get the same logoing, all that jazz on the leggings as you do the short. And I am not seeing anything show through on my thigh here, so I would say that the thickness of these is going to provide a pretty good amount of cellulite coverage. And then going in for a squat test on the red leggings. Now I didn't see anything show through, so I would say that these do pass the squat test. Now I will go ahead and say that with the leggings and the shorts, as far as cellulite coverage and squat proofness, should be the same across all the colorways in the leggings and the shorts. And then here is the black colorway in the leggings and a size small. And then going over cellulite coverage on these, I'm not seeing anything show through on my glutes, and I'm also not seeing anything show through on my thighs, so I would say that these do provide a good amount of cellulite coverage. Then going in for a squat test on these, I'm not seeing anything show through, so these do pass the squat test. The leggings in particular, I do want to go ahead and say, I noticed that the red colorway in the leggings are just a little bit more like stiff and have a little bit less elastic to them. So I was noticing, even though they were a size extra small, they had a little bit more bunching here. So for me, I would suggest sizing down in the red for sure in the leggings. I honestly prefer the smalls in the black, and I think it's just because of like how they dye the material. The red might have just done a little something different to a legging. So for me, I do prefer the way that these smalls fit and all the other colorways except for the red colorway in the leggings. Those I did choose to get in a size extra small, but even then they were still just a little bit baggy. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say stay true to size on the leggings unless you are in between sizes. Go ahead and size down if you are in between sizes. Really want the red colorway. I might even suggest going down 2 sizes in those just because they do run a little bit less elasticy and snatching in the leggings in particular. And next up we have the new Studio Active tank. I did want to show you guys this off body before we go over it on body. So this is what the front of the tank is going to look like. As you guys can see, we do get some thicker straps, the same thickness of straps that we get on the sports bras. And we do get adjustable straps on these so you can tighten or loosen them as much as you need. And then I did want to go ahead and show you guys that these do not have any sort of built-in bra in these. They do not come with any removable cut pads or anything like that. So this tank is going to be more so for layering. It's going to be that same super stretchy athletic material, not the same material as the camis that we got in the last drop. Right, and here is what the Studio Edit Active tank looks like layered on top of the sports bra. I did keep on the black sports bra. As you guys can see, the straps are the exact same width. So if you do not want the sports bra to show through, you can cover it with the straps of the tank. And then this tank is in a size extra small. I would suggest go ahead and sizing down in these tanks. They do tend to flare out a little bit and be a little bit bunchy in the midsection. So if you want it to fit you just a little bit more snug and compressive, I would go ahead and size down in these. So this is an extra small, and I'm typically a size small in all tanks from Youngla for her. And then this is what the back of the tank is going to look like. As you guys can see, the straps do line up. Oh, I kind of did a bad job on this side, but they do line up and you can cover these sports bras underneath these. So if you need and want more coverage in the tanks themselves, go ahead and just throw one of these sports bras underneath it and you should be good. And then these are going to be a full length tank. They are overlapping my leggings and they would overlap the shorts as well. So you are not going to have any sort of like cropping going on or skin breakage on these. These are going to be a full length tank for you. And then I do only have the brown colorway on hand, but we are also going to get these in a black, charcoal, red, pink, cream, and white colorway. And then Youngla for her is also going to be releasing some Studio Edit cotton tees. Now these are going to be a little bit of like a cropped tee, and they are going to be a true cotton tee. So these are not going to fit like your typical baby tees or anything like that. They are going to be a very relaxed fitting type of cropped tee. So these are the type that do not grab or snug around your midsection. They just kind of, wherever your bust sits is kind of where the shirt is going to continue to flow. They are going to be a looser fitting tee. If you want these to be just a little bit more snug, go ahead and size down quite a bit in these. However, you can stay true to size in these and they are going to fit you just like a really nice, relaxed, cropped type of tee. And then we are going to get these tees in a black, charcoal, red, pink, and white colorway. And then last but certainly not least, we are going to get a pack of claw clips. There is only going to be one pack and they do come with all 3 colorways that I have right here. So we are going to get these cutie little claw clips for you guys. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and throw one of them in my hair. And then for my girls that want to wear a claw clip but have never done it before, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how I personally choose to do mine. I just grab all my hair like in a typical ponytail. I'm just going to kind of twist it into a little twisty action, and then you're going to take that little twist into the back of your head. You're gonna hold it while you grab your claw clip, and then you're gonna take this claw clip around all of that twisted hair, and then you're gonna try to press it into the back of like your scalp there to try to get it really nice and secure. And you're gonna toss your little ponytail over the claw clip so that you now have a high looking little pony, but now you're not damaging your hair using a hair tie. I love claw clips. Claw clips are like my favorite thing ever, and so I just really love that they decided to make just some cutie little Youngla for her ones. So yeah, if any of you are in need of a new claw clip or a new pack of 3, you can grab these as well. They're going to be dropping on the 24th. Alrighty guys, that is everything that is going to be dropping from Youngla for her tomorrow, so this Tuesday. I hope this little try on haul was helpful for you guys. As always, if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. You can always drop them down below in the comments. Message me over on my Instagram or message me over on my Snapchat. I am active on all of those platforms, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. And as always, don't forget to use code TATER. It will save you 15% off of your entire purchase, and it does help directly support me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all mean the absolute world to me, and I couldn't thank you guys enough for choosing to support me. Out of all of the little Youngla fishies in the sea, I literally love you guys so much. Like, y'all make my whole world. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you later, taters. All right, instead of bloopers today, we're gonna do more claw clip hairstyles because I love, 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 love styling claw clips. So I'm gonna take half of my hair, like just split it in half, take the top half, and I'm gonna get it into like kind of what I would consider a little bit of like a loose pony. And we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did for the other style. So we're gonna do a little bit of some twisting. And then we're gonna lay that twist on our heads. We're gonna take said claw clip and clip it in. All right, and then you're gonna flip that pony over the claw clip, and then you take the ends and you spread it around the claw clip so that the claw clip is not even noticeable. Just like that, like so. Now you have a half up, half down hairstyle. I love it. I love doing claw clips. Okay, we're gonna do another one. All right, this one is one of my favorite ways to wear my hair. Okay, so now you're gonna take all of your hair into a pony. You're gonna do a single twist, or I guess I do double. I do 2 twists. Okay, and then you're gonna take it, act like you have the claw clip, and then you're just gonna fold this over your hand, and you're gonna hold it right there, okay? So it's got like this little bun here. Then you take this claw clip and clip all that hair up in there, okay? You're gonna fluff out your little bun that you got, okay? And then these, if you have long hair, these little tails, you're gonna split them into 2. You're gonna take one edge of it and you're just gonna pull it up and clip it into the side of that claw. And then you're gonna take this other edge, pull it up and clip it into that side of the claw. Like that. And then you've got yourself a little updo, just like that. I think it's partially falling out because I don't have a mirror and I don't know if I have everything clipped. I probably don't. But yeah, just a little messy hairstyle for us to just wear if you just need your hair up for a little bit, or at the gym. You could just honestly leave this whole pack in your gym bag and you're good to go. You can literally just pull your hair up and then take it right back down. See? The miracles of a claw clip. Okay, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, don't forget that all of this is going to match everything that just dropped on the 13th. So if you need to mix and match some items, or you want some actual athletic pieces to wear underneath these sweat sets that you got on the last one, or you missed out on the sweat sets and you really wanted some, you're gonna get another chance at some sweat sets. So I just wanted to show you guys everything that's gonna be dropping. Yeah, I love you all. I hope that this was at least helpful or entertaining or a mixture of both. Okay, so I love you guys and I'll see you on the next one.